I had to go the length of going to the controller's office, wrote a petition, right? Put my number. Till today, the controller hasn't called me. What does that tell you? This corruption runs deep. You decide where you're going, first of all. So if you decide you're going to the UK, or you decide you're going to Germany, or you're going to Japan, or you're going to America, the next step will be for you to find the website of the embassy of this country that you've decided to go to, right? When you find this website, now you go to the information section, the travel information section. You're going to find a list, how to apply, first of all, and a list of requirements required for you to apply, right? Mm-hmm. You download that, download the form, if it's a form that you can fill, hard copy. If it's something you have to fill online, create the account, but first of all, study that. Find out what the requirements are. There is always a list of requirements for every embassy. Download that one first. Now go sit down and do your homework, right? On that list, usually number one thing you're going to find is a completed form, a completed visa form for that embassy. That one is aside. Don't worry about that one yet. Then you're going to look at all the things that are not on the website that you had to bring externally to make this trip happen. And usually the next thing would be a passport, a Nigerian passport, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Because you're a Nigerian, you have to have a passport that identifies who you are and what country you belong to. You have to have a Nigerian passport. So if you don't have that, you have to visit the Nigerian Immigration Service, right? To go get your passport. It's usually difficult to get these days, and they too have become very fraudulent there. For those of you who don't know, a 32-page Nigerian passport is officially 25,000 naira. But if you go to immigration right now, some immigration officials will charge you as much as 80,000 to 120,000 to give you that passport. Now, if you decide that you're going to do what they call self-paying, be prepared. Your passport is not going to come out the next six months, right? Well, I was raised by a father who taught me that every time you give a police officer a bribe or any government official any kind of money, that you're contributing to the destruction of Nigeria. So my Nigeria passport got lost, and I had to go renew it a couple of months ago. When I got there, they told me I had to pay 120,000 at immigration, and I said, I'm not paying jack. I'm going to do it myself. So what I paid for my passport was 25,000 naira. And I did the process myself. Now, let me tell you my experience before I get into the visa thing. I know we don't have a lot of time. Mm-hmm. But when I got there, I paid 25,000. Now, when I got there to submit it, they gave me a hell of a time. They made sure that
which is actually expected.
Yeah, which is expected. They made sure that I was frustrated, right? Mm-hmm. Now, eventually, because it was a lost passport, it's not a new one, I had to go the length of going to the controller's office, wrote a petition, right? Put my number. Till today, the controller hasn't called me. What does that tell you? This corruption runs deep. Till today, she hasn't called me, the controller of immigration. I went to the PCO's office. That's the next person in command. He wasn't there, but I saw a young man, and the young man said, who's asking you for extra money? Come and show me. When I got to the office, he said, why are you guys doing this, right? Mm-hmm. Eventually, he came back and told me, oh, no, really, yes, apart from the extra money they're asking for, there's a 17,000 that I have to pay because my file has to go to Abuja. Okay. That the officials will say, that the government will say, yes, it's 25,000, but in actual sense, they wouldn't give the money to send the file to Abuja. So him explaining to me this, because first of all, he gave me the first impression he was an upright guy. Mm-hmm. So explaining this, I had to pay the extra 17,000. And they did the process and told me to go home and wait for a message to come capture. I went online and chose the date. When I came for that date, immigration website told me this was your day to capture. When I got there, they told me you're not capturing today. Your things are not ready, so go. I went home. A couple of weeks later, they called me back. I went, captured. Then I waited months while people were walking in and paying 80,000 and 120,000 to get their passport the next day. But because I refused to give the bribe, I had to wait almost 3 months to get my passport. So that's story for another day. So you had to go get your passport. No matter how you get it, go get it, right? That's the first step.